Well, I've done it. I have hit rock bottom. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. Yes, this is Kara's bookshelf, but right now, going through a lot of stuff, okay? And I just want to make a vlog because I want to, okay? For those of you who did not see my last reading vlog, recently I have lost someone who is very important in my life. They have died, okay? And it's been really, really, really hard since then, comprehending everything, understanding it all, trying to understand what is life, what is the purpose of anything, you know what I mean, okay? I'm basically having an existential crisis. Because these feelings are so intense, essentially a lot of the feelings and issues that I was feeling that were kind of like low level, mellow feelings before this event happened have basically been put in a microwave. And my being is telling me I need to live in a different way, okay? I am not allowing myself to be who I want to be and express the things that I want to express in this world because I have been so conditioned to outwardly success in my life. You know, having a steady job, having a good income, having, you know, check, like doing all the things that we think society tells of us, okay? And I have low-key struggled being put in that box for a really, really, really long time. And I feel like I haven't fully allowed myself to be who I want to be. A lot of this stuff that I was feeling was just like really, really mellow for a while. Like it was there and I knew it was there, but it was tolerable, okay? I was just living in a sense of like, I'm gonna be fine. I can tolerate things, like it's fine, but I can't tolerate it anymore. I can't tolerate suppressing this desire to try new things with my life. And I have never been in this position before. I have never been in a position where I don't know what the next step is, okay? I know there is a bigger purpose for me out there, but I don't know what that exact purpose is, and that's what I'm trying to discover, okay? I think I've put myself in this box for so long of like, you're gonna be this type of person in this way, and I have felt so caged by that framework that I've put on myself. And now I'm like, you know what? No, we need to take this off and I need to figure out and explore who I am as a person, okay? I've always been the type of person, like the good girl. Like I've just like always followed what everyone else has told me. I have people pleased my way through life and I am done with it. I am done people pleasing my way through life. Like I am genuinely need to be myself. I need to be who I am. I need to go explore and figure out who that person is. I think it like has to do with being female too, where it's just like, you think that everyone thinks that they know you better than you know you, but that's not really true. I don't know. There's probably some like generational societal trauma with it all, of why I feel this way and why I feel like people know me better than I know myself, or like why I people please stuff. I'm sure there's other people who feel like this too, and it's time to be done with that, okay? I don't even know why I'm putting this on the internet. Genuinely, I don't, because actually, no, I do. Because I think that a lot of people actually feel the way that I feel right now, and I don't think we talk about it enough, that like, we think that everyone else knows what's better for us than we do ourselves. And we think that society knows what's best for us, but we don't actually look inward and like think about who we are. So I am sharing my story. That's what this video is. I'm sorry if I'm coming off like a little, actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about coming off aggressive. I need to stop apologizing for any time I feel like I'm not being like a prim, proper woman. You know what I mean? I'm done with it. I am done placating. I'm done placating for society. Here's where we're getting to the reading vlog, okay? Basically, I need to experiment with more ambiguity and with more spontaneity in my life. I need to take chances on myself and show myself that I can take chances on myself. So, in the spirit of doing this, in the spirit of allowing myself to explore, I am taking a spontaneous camping trip for one night, okay? I actually have tickets to a concert tomorrow, so I can't go for a while, but you know what? Tonight, I just decided I'm gonna go camping. It's actually a beautiful day outside. I'm just gonna go follow whatever I wanna do. I wanna be in nature. I want to just let my spirit shine through in whatever way it needs to, in the wild, in the nature, okay? And I'm gonna bring a book that will help me process these feelings and validate these feelings, okay? I've read this book before, but I wanna read it again because I think it's gonna be seen in a new context for me, and that is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho? But The Alchemist, this is a very famous classic book, okay? I've read this before at a time in my life where I was feeling very similar feelings to how I am feeling right now. And I gotta be honest, I like don't remember a lot about it. I feel like this is a book that has changed people's lives. And I remember reading it and like having an intense reading experience with it, but like not intense enough where I like was like, oh my God, that's the best book I've ever read. But there is a quote on the back: to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. That is how I'm feeling right now. That's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like the life that I have built for myself in the person who I told myself I always was, because of all of these things that people told me I should be to be successful in life, is not who I really am. I am not what society tells me is success. I am my own person, and I need to find my own purpose in life. And I know my purpose is not what I'm doing right now. So I am taking it upon myself to try and discover my purpose, and I'm gonna take one step at a time. And so my next step is I'm gonna go camping, and I'm gonna read this book, and I'm gonna go walk in nature, and I'm gonna go with my dog, and it's gonna be his first camping experiences. It might be a total disaster because I don't know if he likes camping or not, but I'm just gonna go take a chance. I haven't even booked the campsite yet, and I'm gonna do it, okay? I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I hope someone else feels this way too, because I know I'm not the only one who feels like this. See you in the woods. So, update, book the campsite. The campground only has backpack insights, so it's 1.25 miles to get to the campsite from the car. Now, I mean, it's gonna be fine. Only problem is food. Anytime I've been on like a backpacking trip like that, I've always gone with friends, and they've always been the people who have done the food. So I'm a little nervy about what I'm gonna eat tonight, but it's fine. It's only one night. Literally, worst case scenario, I go to McDonald's, and then in the morning I just pick up like McDonald's or like Starbucks or something, or just wait to get home in the morning to eat. Not gonna be a big deal. The other thing is that I have to learn to tie a bear knot. Not that there's bears around this campground a lot, but there is potential, like someone has seen a bear there like one time in the last like 5 years. So I obviously want to be safe. So I have to learn how to hang my food. I'm feeling invigorated and alive right now, and I'm literally just going camping, but like this is what I need. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. I am back, obviously, to chit chat with how it went because it didn't go as planned, okay? It didn't go as planned. Here's the deal. Got there, set the tent up, set the campsite up, and I got there right at check-in. Check-in was at 4 o'clock for the campsite, okay? It took me like an hour, probably about an hour to an hour and a half to walk into the campsite, which was like 1.5 miles away from my car, okay? I didn't think that it was gonna take me that long to get to the campsite. I didn't think it was gonna take me an hour. So I had left my food in the car, okay? And I was like, you know what, that's fine. We're just gonna take a little walk back. We walked down by the river. It was really cute. And then finally got the food and got back, and I tried to start a fire. Also, I had to cut my own wood, okay? Had to cut my own wood and start a fire. I didn't mind the cutting my own wood. I learned how to saw wood. I guess that's a skill. Tried to start a fire. Couldn't start a fire. Took me probably 30 minutes to start a fire. And I thought I knew how to start a fire. I have been camping many a time. I am not new to this. Like, I've started fires before, but I couldn't get it going. I couldn't get it going. And then finally, through some miracle, it worked. I had assumed that the campground was going to have like kindling or fire starters, and they didn't. So that's kind of on me that I didn't think to bring a fire starter in. But I eventually did it with some sheer willpower, a roll of paper towels, and the hand cut wood. We got the fire going, okay? Got the fire going. I did have a little s'more. But by the time the fire was like full on started, it was getting dark outside. This girl didn't think how it would feel being outside alone, a mile and a half away from her car without any campers around and it being dark outside. So I powered through. I was like, it's okay, you're gonna be okay. Also, there were so many bugs, there were so many spiders everywhere, and I wasn't loving that, but I was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You've been camping before, you're gonna be fine. Fitzy did so good, but I probably didn't fall asleep for about an hour and a half. Like sitting in my tent. I probably didn't fall asleep until 12:30 or maybe near 1. And then Fitz woke up at 3:45. There were footsteps. There was like animal footsteps, and I was just freaked the fuck out. Like, I was terrified. I was like, what if it's a bear? I don't know. What if they're gonna try and attack me? What if they try and attack my dog? Like, I was going through every anxious scenario. I had the biggest pit in my stomach. I felt so nauseous. It was like every symptom of anxiety I had. The deer, I like heard it breathing. Okay, I was laying in my tent, and like the deer was getting closer, and then it went like, whew, and I could hear it breathing, and I was so scared. And right before I had went to bed, there were coyotes that were howling in the distance. I was so freaked out. I was so freaked out. Like I said, I have been camping before. I have been like, I love camping. I genuinely love to go camping. I just did this on hard mode, and I didn't think through the backpack in campsite. I literally didn't even think about it. I was like, it's gonna be fine. No, I was so wrong. So I packed everything up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I walked out of the campground at like 4:45, got back to my car at 5:30, and we drove home. I was having fun up until the point that it got like dark outside, and then I wasn't in a campground where you just drive in and you camp right next to your car. I think I would have done a lot better if I had done that. If I had just camped right next to my car. I could have gotten in my car if I was nervous, but I was out on my own. Like, I was by myself with my little puppy, and we were just scared. We were just scared little, I was scared. He actually did pretty okay. And he was so good. This was his first little camping trip. He did so good. Are you just tired? Are you behind the pillow? Okay, I'll leave you there. You know what? I didn't even get to read the book, okay? I was honestly doing camp work the entire time, and I was terrified out of my mind at night. So I didn't read anything. So I got back this morning, took a shower because I was covered in ash from the fire. And then I slept for 3 hours. I slept until like 9:30 this morning. And then now I'm watching My Neighbor Totoro, and I'm gonna read this book, and we're gonna go to a concert tonight. So that is the saga. I think this was a really good learning experience for me though, okay? I haven't done something spontaneous like that in a very long time. I think it goes to show me that I can do hard things, okay? I can do things that may not be easy. I mean, we probably walked like 5 or 6.5 miles, and I had probably like 50 pounds on my back. You know what? I showed myself I can do it. I showed myself I can do something spontaneous. I can do something that's difficult. And lesson learned, I will never, ever, ever do backpacking by myself ever again, or likely camping by myself ever again. If I were to camp by myself, it'd have to be car camping. Like, it'd have to be pull into the campground and you camp right next to your car. I will never do a backpack in camp alone ever again. well, that's the saga. I did start reading the prologue of this morning, and I have to be honest with you, I literally don't remember the story at all. So I'm glad I'm rereading it again. And I think the story is going to be what I need right now. So in the comfort of my own home, watching a Studio Ghibli film. Studio Ghibli is like my ultimate comfort movies. Like, I never watched these as a kid, but something about them just makes them so nostalgic to me. So I'm gonna be watching that, and then I'm just gonna be hanging out. We're going to a concert tonight. It's gonna be fun, okay? I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys when I actually have an update on the book. Thanks for listening to my saga. Bye. Okay, I want to talk about what I'm reading right now, you guys. What'll last 24 hours? No, what'll last 48 hours, honestly. Okay, I told you the camping saga. Last night, we went to a music festival, and Hosier was the headliner. And guys, at one point, he came out into the crowd and did he did a couple songs, like standing basically in the middle of the crowd. I am not kidding. He was like 10 yards away from me. I honestly, my soul left my body. It was an incredible experience. No words can describe how cool of an experience that was. Core memory. It started raining when he was out there. It was just like the universe was like conspiring for this absolutely beautiful moment. And then the show kept going, but then the rain got worse, and then it lightened, and the show had to be cut short, unfortunately. I was pretty bummed. It only got cut probably maybe a half hour or so. Not the end of the world. I've seen Hosier before, but it was so incredible. It was such a cool experience. But the reason I sat down with you was not only to just, you know, tell you how cool that was, but also I want to talk about the things that I'm reading right now, okay? I read the prologue of The Alchemist, which I'm really excited to continue on, but I don't want to talk about this right now. I am decided to pick up Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, which is one of his additional books that he's written. I don't know if you guys watched my last vlog where I discussed my grief process, but I read The Power of Now in that vlog, and essentially had a glimpse of like a spiritual awakening. And I feel like I've been really trying to continue to deep dive into that since I read that book and since this loss has happened in my life. And I kind of want to talk about the things that I've actually thought about from this camping experience, because I kind of feel like this camping experience was almost like vital to this time that I'm having right now, okay? So obviously the camping experience was frightening, okay? Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and having a deer or some type of animal, I don't know, I think it was a deer because I heard it galloping away, and it sounded almost like a horse, like a poof, like that. It was literally 5 feet away from me. It was so close to my tent. But the absolute fear that I felt inside of me during that moment, I think actually can extrapolate, and the whole experience can actually extrapolate to a larger just experience of fear in my life, okay? And in general people's lives. All of us in the world, we face fears, okay? We have fears in our lives that essentially control us, okay? We have a fear of not having an income, of being perceived in society as other than or less than, or, you know, our lives are literally shaped by fears surrounding us, fears of loss of material items, of anything, fears of abandonment, fears of insecurity. Like, I don't know, there's so many different types of fears, okay? We all have our own fears. And I think we can actually, like, if we turn towards the fear and face the fear head on, the fear actually can dissolve a little bit. So in terms of the camping experience, I was facing a fear, okay? I was facing a fear of not having control over the situation. I couldn't control the fact that, like, I was in the middle of the woods 1.5 miles away from my car, and there were animals all around me, and I was freaked out, okay? I made it through the experience. I showed myself I could make it through the experience. When it started to get dark out, I was like, I am so freaked out right now, but I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep going. And I just kind of like felt that there was something watching over me while I was there. But then I got to a point where the fear completely overtook me and I was like, I need to get out of here, I need to take action. And I did, and I left. But I made it through that entire experience. And I think coming away from it, I've learned like, I can face my fears. I can face my fears, and it's gonna be terrifying. It's gonna be fucking terrifying at sometimes. But I faced the fear. I faced the fear. And although I couldn't make it through the entire night, I've made it a step in the right direction. Like, I've showed myself I can start to conquer my fears. They don't have to be so crippling to me. You know what? Some of you might be watching this vlog and thinking I'm absolutely nuts, but like genuinely, I feel like I really learned something from that experience, in that the universe can have my back, and being open to that, and rather than showing resistance to it, can bring about some really beautiful things in life. Okay, let me just read you this passage that I just read in this book, because I feel like this kind of explains what I'm trying to talk about in maybe more succinct language that I'm able to discuss right now, okay? Whenever tragic loss occurs, you either resist or you yield. Some people become bitter or resentful, others become compassionate, wise, and loving. Yielding means inner acceptance of what is. You are open to life. Resistance is an inner contraction, a hardening of the shell of the ego. You are closed. Whatever action you take in a state of inner resistance will create more outer resistance, and the universe will not be on your side. Life will not be helpful. When you yield internally, when you surrender, a new dimension of consciousness opens up. If action is possible or necessary, your action will be in alignment with the whole and supported by creative intelligence. Circumstances and people then become helpful, cooperative. Coincidences happen. If no action is possible, you rest in the peace of inner stillness that can come with surrender. So what I'm trying to say is, I was trying to surrender to the experience. At one point, my fear completely took me over and I took action and I left. But throughout that entire evening, I was leaning in. I was leaning into the fear. I was leaning into being spontaneous. I was leaning into seeing how I could actually care for myself and like letting go of control of my surroundings and my situation. And I showed myself that I can do it. And while it was so scary at times, I really genuinely learned something from myself from that experience. There was another quote in here that I wanted to read. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having at the moment. I swear to God, the camping trip is the experience I needed at the moment. It needed to show me that I can face my fears. That if I turn towards fear, I will be okay. I'm going to be okay. I could have made it the entire night and there were no bears. I would have not gotten attacked by a bear. I feel like maybe there's only a select number of people who are going to understand what I'm talking about. I'm having a spiritual awakening, okay? I'm having a spiritual awakening and I am attempting to move my life in the direction that the universe wants to bring forth from me, and I am attempting to come into alignment with my purpose and my higher being. Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, okay? Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy right now. But when you experience like such devastating loss in life, it brings out an opportunity for things like this to happen and for you to question the larger purpose of everything and like our humanity. And that's what I'm doing right now, okay? Try it for yourself. Would encourage. It's actually really cool and very enlightening, but also really difficult and very confusing at many times. But I also feel like I'm really learning a sense of inner purpose in myself. And like, I feel like this is the reason I'm here. I feel like I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now, even though I have no idea what it is at all. Okay, my battery's gonna die. I'm gonna talk to you when I'm continuing more onto this book or this book. I don't really know. I'm just reading to read. Okay, bye. You always seem to know whenever I'm filming. You always seem to know and you just want to make noise. Okay, I want to give an update on my reading, on the books that I'm reading. I know I haven't been updating a ton. I have been... You really want to know? I genuinely think I'm depressed. Genuinely. So You know what? I gotta say, I feel like sometimes online, not just YouTube, I don't even feel like it's honestly that much YouTube. I feel like it's like Instagram and like social media in general is honestly just the highlight reel, you know? And I feel like it feels so much more authentic to me to not talk about the highlight reel of my life, especially on my YouTube channel. I think that's why I like YouTube so much, is because you can find more realness in people. And I am being so for real with you right now on everything that I'm going through. And yeah, I genuinely think I am depressed. So that fucking sucks, okay? But you know what? I feel like it's almost like the feeling I'm getting inside is that this is like a dark night of the soul moment where I'm about to arise and awaken to like my best life yet, my highest self, whatever. And I'm just like, this is me just going through it right now and trying to figure it all out, you know? So I'm gonna be okay. I'm just going through it, okay? But I want to talk about the books that I'm reading because I feel like these are somewhat helping, somewhat making sense of everything that I'm feeling right now, of what I am going through right now, and trying to help me understand, you know, just life. You know, I've always been an existential person, and I'm especially existential right now. Okay, let's talk about Eckhart. The New Earth. I'm probably 3/4 of the way through this book. I'm probably somewhere around there. And I was in it. I was into this book a couple days ago. And I will say this did repeat The Power of Now quite a bit, in the sense that it talks about the ego, and coming intensely into the now will help to reveal our true spiritual essence of who we are. So it talked like mainly about that. I did highlight quite a bit because it really goes to show how much of us is driven by our human ego. Literally the entire world is driven by ego, if you were unaware. And essentially, for those who are not aware of what the human ego is, it's basically like our human self, okay? It's like the human part of ourselves who is afraid of things, who wants to protect ourselves from things, that wants to show, like flaunt the things we have or the status we have, or pretty much everything that you see in the world is driven by the human ego. It's like the opposite part of your spirit, okay? Our world is driven by everything ego, and none of it, or very small amounts of it, are spiritually driven. So the fact that I'm afraid to share about my true feelings right now, that's ego, okay? But this is basically talking all about the ego, the unconscious, and stuff like that. And now I'm starting to get more into like finding inner purpose and finding your purpose, etc. Yeah, I'm on the chapter of like discovering your inner space, finding who you truly are. So I think I'm about to get to what the purpose is, or discovering inner purpose. But I did pick up another book in the meantime, okay? Guys, while I have been reading, I've also been listening to podcasts, okay? Okay, so yes, I have been listening to some podcasts alongside my reading, okay? Because I am lost, okay? I am lost in life at the current moment, and really trying to navigate, okay? I'm trying to navigate our uncharted territory for myself, and it's not easy. And books and podcasts are helping me do so. So the podcast that I'm listening to is Feel Better, Live More by Dr. Chatterjee. Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, he is a doctor from the UK, and it's basically like a health and wellness podcast. And he has quite a few guests on there talking about health, wellness, spirituality, purpose, all of like the typical self-help, self-transformation type topics. And I was scrolling through some of his older episodes because I was looking for those episodes with James Hollis, who is that Jungian psychoanalyst who I was talking about in my grief vlog. Basically, this is a guy who has studied the work of Carl Jung, who is like a psychoanalyst who analyzes dreams, who talks about finding our purpose, like in a scientific way. He talks about the unconscious and our shadow, and like very, very interesting work that I feel like very much resonates with like my beliefs, and it makes sense. It totally makes sense to me. and it's from like a scientific perspective. So I had first listened to that episode with Dr. James Hollis. Literally, I listened to the episode back to back, twice in a row. It was so profound, so incredible. I'm gonna link it in the description below if you wanna go and listen to that. It blows your mind. It talks about purpose and about meaning and how things can be purposeful in your life, but also what is really going to bring you fulfillment is having areas in your life where you have meaning. James Hollis is 85 years old and he's still seeing patients because he finds so much meaning in helping people understand their higher purpose in life and stuff like that. So, okay, listen to that one. Incredible. Incredible. So much food for thought. I'm probably going to be coming back to that one. And then the one I listened to today, which I had saved because I thought it was super interesting, was How to Reconnect with Your True Self and Live with Purpose with Kirsty Gallagher. And she wrote this book called Your Cosmic Purpose. I listened to maybe 20 minutes of this episode. Maybe. I don't even know if maybe it was 10 minutes. And I was like, I vibed with her so hard. She's talking about like highest self, about like soul contracts and like purpose in life. And again, this is like an area where you really have to open your mind. Like a lot of this stuff is not scientifically proven and it's definitely leans more just general spirituality rather than like leaning with a specific religion. But I was just vibing with the way that she was talking about purpose and finding purpose and her journey in her life where she was in a corporate job, she hated the job, she ended up leaving and then going studying yoga in India and like, I don't know, just like very intuition driven life. And the book Your Cosmic Purpose is basically discovering your own soul's higher self and the journey that you want to make on this planet and in this lifetime. And again, this is like not related to specific religions or whatever. I'm just telling you like the journey that I'm going through and where I'm finding comfort and understanding right now because I feel so lost in life and this is making sense. So I would recommend you, if you are feeling similarly, give these podcasts a try. They're amazing and I'm really enjoying this book, Your Cosmic Purpose. It's definitely more of like an action-driven book. Like I'm listening to it and she's encouraging you to go back to certain parts of the book and like meditate on the things that she's talking about, or like she has various exercises and she's like, I want you to like listen to the book once and then go back to these certain parts and like do the actions that I am telling you to do in this book because they can help you connect with your like higher self and like your guardian angels or spirit guides or like the universe, like spirituality in a bigger sense. And again, open your mind, just be open to these concepts because when you feel so lost in life like I am right now, I am grasping at anything to help bring me understanding of life. Okay, so yeah, those are the things I'm reading. Interested to get more into A New Earth and I'm really vibing with this Your Cosmic Purpose. So haven't really made any progress, to be honest, in The Alchemist. The other thing I have to do is I have to read my book club book. It's I Who Have Never Known Men. Really need to read that. It's only like 180 pages or something, but I'm just like genuinely like making dinner and like cleaning up is like the maximum amount of motivation I can have right now. And dude, I don't know. I've never felt like this before and it feels awful. Okay, it feels genuinely so awful, but I really don't mind talking about it because I feel like a lot of people go through this stuff in life and a lot of people feel this way in life. And why are we not talking about it? Okay. See you guys in the next clip. Bye.
Come here. Say hi, Fitzy.
Hi, Fitzy.
Hi, everyone.
Well, I've done it. I have hit rock bottom. Okay, I just want to give a quick trigger warning for this part of the video, okay? I'm going to be talking about depression, okay? I'm going to be talking about sadness and depression. I want to talk about what's going on because I am so not okay. I've never felt like this before in my entire life. in my entire life. Okay, so over the past few days, I genuinely don't know what has come over me, but like, I am not okay. Like, my body is like screaming for help. For those who don't know, I work in the medical field, okay? And basically ever since I have lost that significant person in my life, I actually had quite a bit of time off work to be able to try and grieve and process it. And then I've basically been coming back to work, and I only work 4 days a week. So I came back to work, and I've been working for probably the past 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks or so. But it's been like, I worked 4 days one week, I worked 2 days another week, I worked 3 days another week, like it's been a little bit more sporadic. And this week I was scheduled for an entire week, and every single day at work has been like I'm dragging myself through the mud. Like, it feels like I am running on empty right now and trying to take care of other people. Like, I have nothing left to give. For example, yesterday, I didn't even have any like hard, difficult things going on yesterday, but it was the fact that I was trying to care for other people, and I was trying to like care for someone else when I'm not even okay myself. I was crying in between patients. I was so unwell, and like my body was like screaming for help. And I knew what was happening to me. I knew I am depressed. Like I knew something was going on. And like mentally, I'm like fully aware, fully with it, what's happening. But my body, like something about my body was like, it felt like my soul had been sucked from me. Like, it felt like someone took an ice cream scooper and like scooped out my entire being. I don't even know how, like, that's the best way I can describe it. And then I was trying to like go and see patients and just shove the feelings down. And then I would get back to my office and I would just start bawling. And I made it through the workday somehow, and I just broke. I just broke. Like, I thought I was gonna have to take myself to the hospital. Like, I was so not okay. I ended up talking to my doctor and talking to my therapist, and I'm gonna be taking short-term disability to deal with processing all of this grief and discomfort that I'm going through right now and my family's going through right now. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to have the opportunity to do that, but I'm just so not okay. And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like some people might be watching this and just being like, maybe you might be judgmental or you might think I'm weird or crazy. Here's the thing. We don't talk about this stuff as a society. And then this is what happens when you just shove and shove and shove and shove the emotions down and act like you're always okay. This is literally the result of that. And I know mental health is getting less stigmatized and is becoming more prevalent, and people are getting more aware of it, but it's literally a product of our society that people end up feeling like this. This is not even like BookTube related at all. This is just general social media related. We just put our best selves out online all the time. Look at what I'm doing. Look at all the things that I'm seeing. Look at all the things that where I'm going, et cetera, et cetera. Like, look at all the books that I have and the beautiful shelves that I have, etc. Like, we just constantly compare ourselves to the highlight reel of everyone else's life, and it just leaves us feeling so empty inside. I don't want to contribute to that, like, I feel like I've tried to put the highlight reel on and act like everything's fine and whatever. But that's not who I am. I am not that person. Like, I want to talk about the real things in life. I want to show you this is reality. Like, I want to connect with you on a deeper level than just the surface level stuff, And I think that's maybe why I love reading so much, is because you can go on an inner transformational journey through the books that you read. And I feel like that's what I was trying to get at with my little rebrand earlier this year. And maybe this is just me more coming into that too, but like, I just can't buy into the superficiality of humanity at this time. Like, I can't. The materialism, being disingenuous, putting on a fake face, being superficial and just saying everything's fine and I'm fine and everything's great and I'm having a great life and blah, 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 blah. That is so disingenuous to me. And it's like I am abandoning who I am to be in service of this happy, whatever, perfect life that I'm trying to portray because that's what everyone else is doing and portraying, when all I want is genuine, deep connection and to be able to see you and see me for who we are as people, not as these faces we put on. I think that's the core of it all. The core of it all is I'm abandoning who I am. After my life has blown up, it's just unveiled the mask that I am putting on, and it's bringing me to my knees. I am at rock bottom right now. There's nowhere to go but up, okay? I'm reading this book right now called Your Cosmic Purpose by Kirsty Gallagher, I think. I talked about this the other day. This was the podcast that I was listening to, and I downloaded her book, and she discusses that, like, this is part of, like, a spiritual journey, what I'm going through right now. And it's called The Dark Night of the Soul. And I think I talked about it with you a little bit, but, like, she has a chapter on this and, like, the experiences of what her dark nights of the soul is. And it's literally what's happening to me. It's like my world has collapsed and I just have to surrender to it all and learn to rebuild and grow myself and follow my own intuition to be able to heal. I need time to heal. That's what I need. I need time to look inward, to journal, to be in nature, to process, to think through things, to just be myself. And hopefully I come out on the other side stronger and as a much better version of who I am than what I'm feeling right now. That's the hope, at least. That's what she talks about in her book, is like she talks about the spiritual journey and that's like how big, huge life events, just like the one I've been through, can push you into evolving into who you are meant to be. So I think there is a beauty that can come from this, even though it feels horrible right now. I'm gonna leave resources down below for mental health help, and therapy can be such an incredible thing. So please, please do not hesitate to get the help that you need using any of those resources down below or contacting a local clinic or just don't be afraid to get help, okay? Don't be afraid to get help. And it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to say, I can't do this right now. It's okay to say, I need to take a step back for myself because I need to do what's best for me. Especially over these last few days, I've just been telling myself, no, you can get through it. No, you can get through it. No, you can get through it. And it's just led me to absolute wreckage. So don't deny the feelings that you are having. They are so valid. And please don't be afraid to get help. Book-wise, if you're looking for something to kind of help you understand this journey that you're on, or if you are on a spiritual path, this Your Cosmic Purpose is really bringing it all together. I feel like it's taking the lessons I've learned from the power of now, from awakening to your life's purpose and a new earth, from an untethered soul. It's like taking all of it and putting it all together in language that I feel like is very, very understandable and like coming from someone's actual human experience. It's very, very validating, and like I am not alone in what I'm going through. The one way she describes the dark night of the soul, it's like you're a caterpillar before. So my whole life I've been a caterpillar before. I'm going through this dark night of the soul, and you're in the in-between. This is the in-between between being a caterpillar and a butterfly, and you're going to submerge on the other end with a renewed sense of who you are and a renewed sense of purpose. But sitting in that mush, sitting in that discomfort and this metamorphosis that I'm going through is very, very uncomfortable, but it is in service to something that is coming that is going to be greater. So I'm genuinely just trusting in that. I am trusting in that because I don't know what else to do right now. Okay, so I'm gonna actually end the vlog here because I just feel like I need to just close this vlog up. While I did not finish a particular book or make it through anything, I feel like I've talked enough about what I'm reading and the journey that I'm going through for it to be a complete video. And we're gonna pick up right where I left off because I think I'm gonna do a lot of vlogging during this time of self-discovery, and I know I'm going to be reading a lot of books. I just know it. So there's going to be a lot more vlogs to come Don't know the next time I'm gonna do a sit down video because I just don't think I have it in me to do a sit down video right now. So we're gonna be vlogging for the near future. And I hope you guys will be with me along the way. If this is too much for you right now, I also completely understand. So you do what you need to do, but I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be vulnerable and I'm gonna show you what I'm going through because this is who I wanna be right now. I wanna show my genuine side. I don't wanna hide anymore. I don't wanna fake it anymore. I don't wanna put a mask on anymore. I just wanna be transparent because I feel like this is what connects us on a human level, is knowing you're not alone in times like this. So we're on a new journey, you guys. This is going to be a new beginning. Peace and love, everyone.